Hey, it's me, MLB. Here is chapter 18 of Chance Ball, and this one is titled College Plans. Here is just a polite warning before we start. There is a scene in this chapter that I've had to skip quite heavily over, but as you all know, the completed book without any of the scenes being chopped out can be found on my Quirky Fanfics website. The link is free from my Patreon. Patreon is the same name as here, MLB224 Fanfics. Free to join to get to the website to read the scenes that have been taken out. If you dare. That I should add that in, if you dare. Okay, so without further ado, let's keep going on the chapter. And I see you and me skipping class to get it on in our house. Dabi replied cheekily. You rolled your eyes with a chuckle. Trust you to be thinking like that. Okay, let's do it, Dabi said nonchalantly as he pushed his hands into his pockets. Well, really? You deadpanned. Now you're interested? Because you can get it on? I'm a guy, Dabi replied. I'm always thinking about that. You squealed with excitement and jumped up onto him, wrapping your arms around his neck and kissing his scarred cheek animatedly. Yeah, okay, he said with a small chuckle. We'll look for some places when we get back to the villa. Look at this one! It's super cheap, you said with excitement as he bounced over to him and plopped down between his legs on the couch, shoving your phone into his face. Dabi took your phone from you and pulled it back to see things a bit clearer. He read the blurb silently and then flicked through some of the pictures of the house. Looks like a 2-bedroom place, he commented. Run down. Yeah, but we can totally do it up, you said excitedly. It'll be fun. Dabi smirked and lowered your phone, reaching out with his scarred hand and gripping your chin to pull your face into his. My second favourite thing is seeing you all excited about something, he said lowly as his lips met yours, kissing you firmly a few times before squishing your cheeks in between his thumb and finger. What's the first? You asked as he continued to hold your cheeks in a pinched position. Your other face, when we're in bed together, he replied deviously as he leaned back in and bit your lower lip, pulling on it sharply and growling softly as he did so. You grabbed his scarred cheeks and yanked his face back towards yours, your tongues and lip meeting in a messy kiss as you sat in his lap. You're the biggest dick in the world and I hate you said as you pulled back from the kiss. Correction, he said quickly. I have the biggest dick in the world and you love it, he added as he smirked and sat back, letting go of your face. Yeah, okay, let's go see this house here. Eee! You squealed with excitement. Yes! Later that night, you both lay out on the back deck, chatting about moving in together and attending college. Dabi was graduating at the end of the year, but you were a year behind him in school, so it looked like you would have to wait before joining him in college. That was until you read the school policy. Because you had been headhunted by Nekoma High for your libero prowess, you also stood a good chance at being selected for a scholarship program by Kapuru College. If you did get accepted into the scholarship program, Nekoma would have to let you go, and you would do a few online classes to make sure you got your high school certification. You were determined to get that scholarship. Would you do teaching as well? You asked Dabi. Yeah, maybe. I haven't thought about it, Dabi replied frankly as he rolled onto his side to look at you. You know, he said matter-of-factly as he reached out and tenderly caressed your cheek. I hadn't really thought about what I'd do for a future job. I didn't care. But now having you with me, it's made me want to do better in life. Aw, you're going soft on me, Dabi, you teased. Say what you want, but I'm glad you're mine. Who knows? I could have ended up as a villain, he replied deviously. You'd be a very sarcastic but hot villain, he replied with a chuckle. I'd go to the dark side for you. He gave you a devious, lopsided grin. Who says I'm not already a villain? In the sheets. He sneered as he reached to your shoulder and pinned you down as he moved his body over yours. His lips locked with yours as you made out heavily, your fingers knitting into his spiky black hair as his body weight sank onto yours. He opened his mouth and your lips locked together in a heavy kiss right there on the back porch of the place. Looked hot as hell from where I was too, he said as he bent his head down and kissed you on the top of your head. We'll have to keep that on the yes list. Come to think of it, there's not much on the no list, you said thoughtfully. Oh, still can't believe you won't let me eat chicken nuggets off your bare body, Dabi said with faux dejected sigh. I don't ever remember that being discussed, he replied as he half sat up to look at him. Okay, so it's on the cards then, he said quickly. Awesome, I'll order some tomorrow and we can do it. Oh, hey, hang on now, hold up. Pizza and nuggets in the nude while we watch TV tomorrow night, Dabi continued. If you spill anything, I get to lick it off you. Ew, you laughed. Why you gotta be so weird? If you can't handle me at my best, then you sure as hell won't be able to handle me at my worst, Dabi said. You thought for a second. Wait, you saying this is your best? I'm terrified. What's your worst? You asked dubiously. Well, you're stuck with me for life now, so you'll find out soon enough, he replied as he grabbed your face and kissed you while you playfully tried to escape, leading to a friendly naked wrestle on the bed before you both fell asleep. You woke up the next morning half cuddled with your back into Dabi's side. He had one arm under you and the other on his chest as he lay on his back, and you stirred slightly and rolled your head back over your shoulder to look at him. He looked so peaceful, you thought as your eyes travelled his face. Who'd have thought this ass would talk so much crap when he's awake? You smirked to yourself, and then suddenly you realised that you had forgotten to take the morning after pill, and had been fairly active with Dabi since then. Oh, crap, you thought. No, wait, it should be okay, I just had my period. You breathed out, letting the breath go that you'd been inadvertently holding. Yeah, well, either way, it'll be fine, I guess. Just then Dabi stirred, and his eyes cracked open as he rolled his head to look at you. Morning, Dabi, you said in a soft, croaky voice. He gave you a half-assed, just-woke-up smile. Who left this hot chick in my bed? He rasped. Pfft, you laughed. Really? That's your first comment of the day? It can only get worse, baby. I'm all downhill from here, he said lowly in his husky morning voice as he grabbed you into a hug and dragged you closer to him, his piercings rubbing cold against your flushed skin. No, Dabi! You screeched, wriggling and trying to get away as you felt something poke into your hip. He chuckled lowly in your ear. The cock is up before the rooster, he rasped, trying to pin your flailing form down onto the bed, but you managed to evade him and got up to take a shower. You stay out there, you said sharply as you closed the bathroom door. No funny business. No guarantees, babe. I can pick locks, Dabi called as you locked the door on him. You smirked to yourself and then started the shower, ready to have a lovely warm shower. Suddenly you remembered the pill. Oh, crap, is it too late now? You thought as you turned and let the water run down your back. Well, if it happens, I'll just deal with it, right? You finished your shower and then hopped out and dried yourself, dropping the towel on the floor and walking out of the bathroom stark naked. You're really trying to test me, aren't you? Dabi growled as his turquoise eyes roamed your form. You expect me to be a gentleman, not trying to jump your bones? Yes, you retorted with indignation. Surely there's some gentlemanly attributes deep down inside that basement of your being. I killed the gentleman in my basement, Dabi replied with a sneer, his carnal gaze locking onto your bare backside as he sat up slowly in the bed and stalked towards you, crawling on the bed like a burnt, lanky cat. Oh, that doesn't sound creepy at all, you snorted sarcastically as he quickly put on some underwear. Undies are on now, you can't touch me. But apparently the rules had been lost on Dabi, who pounced on you anyway. No, you screeched with laughter. Down, Dabi! Bad dog! I'm on heat, he growled in your ear. It's only the females that go on heat, you idiot, you cried out, laughing as he crashed back onto the bed with you, his rough scarring rubbing against your arms. After finally getting ready for the morning, you and Dabi decided to have brunch and then head down to the ocean to hire 2 paddleboards. Have you ever done this before? You asked him as you both prepared to get on the boards. Nah, he replied. I only agreed to this so I could stare at your ass, so you go ahead. God, you groaned as you pulled yourself up to kneeling on your board and then paddled ahead of him. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Dabi called from behind you as he lay on his board. Every time you call out some sexual remark, I'm going to smack you with my paddle, you shouted over your shoulder. Spank me, mummy, Dabi called, cupping his hands to his mouth. Stop, you laughed, trying to balance as you turned your head to look back at him. Dabi cackled from behind you and pawed at the water to drag himself up beside your board, leering across at you with those mischievous eyes, thinking thoughts that you'd rather not ask about. What? You asked with a half laugh when he remained staring at you for a little too long. Just looking at perfection, he flirted casually. Idiot, you mumbled with a blush. Shut up and kiss me already. He leaned off his board over to yours, but just then a wave swelled up and tipped him off and you lost it, snorting and laughing as you tried to stop from falling off your own board. You're such a clumsy... Oh, you screeched as Dabi tipped you off your board. I hate you, you hollered, laughing as Dabi wrapped you in his arms. After finally figuring out how to work the boards, you both stood up and paddled around, avoiding the waves as much as possible as you headed to a little cove nearby. Do I trust us alone here? You asked Dabi with a lopsided grin as you jumped off the board and into the water, side stroking as you dragged it closer to the cove. I wouldn't if I were any sane person, Dabi replied dryly. But who's here to see the mischief that we stir up? You screamed internally, butterflies invading your stomach and heading south pretty quickly as you imagined him all over you. Told you I'd bend you over every rock. Dabi sneered as he jumped off his own board and ducked under the water before coming up and flicking his head to get rid of the water. The way his hair fell looked similar to his vice captain Kuro's hair, and you chuckled. You look like Roosterhead, you said, referring to Kuro. I may have the Roosterhead, but I'll have you crowing, he quipped as he swam over to you and grabbed you around the waist as his feet touched the sandy bottom, lifting you up and turning you so you could cling to his front like a koala. He took both of your boards by their cords and pulled them up on the beach, walking out of the water easily with you still around his middle. Now, closest rock is... he muttered as he looked around. No! You screeched playfully. Just then a family of 5 arrived, 2 of the kids running out onto the beach and screeching with excitement. Dabi groaned. Ugh, cock-blocked by the things I'm trying to create, he mumbled. Hush! You hushed with a mortified look on your face, hoping the parents hadn't heard him as you dropped down from his middle. Dabi, honestly, I'm this close to slapping your ass with a rusty knife. It's called stabbing, Yin, and it's illegal, Dabi replied dryly. But guess what? I do have something that I can stab you with that's not illegal. I'm pretty sure it's illegal if it's non-consensual, you deadpanned. Why you gotta be like this? He said, his face falling as he gave you a pitiful look. Ah, baby, you chuckled. Can we just chill and not try to pretend like it's up to us solely to populate the earth? You added, as you wrapped your arms around his middle. Fine, we'll all die then, he said as he picked you up and walked into the water, dumping you into the cold spray before falling in with you. Honestly, Dabi needs to be put in a cage. Anyway, there ends that chapter 18. Stay tuned for chapter 19 coming tomorrow. I'll see you then.